Good morning, students. This is JC Benoy, your SST teacher. Today, we're going to continue with our revision video on the chapter that we had started in the previous video, that is globes and maps. So, keep your pen and paper handy. But before we start, I hope you have taken care of yourselves and of your families. Please do not go around just because the lockdown is open. Even if you go out to play, make it a point to wash your hands and legs as soon as you come back. Use a mask, be very careful, and do maintain social distancing. So, these are very important things because as you can see the numbers all around you, you know that the cases, COVID 19 cases, are increasing, they're not coming down. So, you need to do this, all right? Be safe, take care of yourself, stay home as much as possible, do not interact with outsiders very too much, all right? Now, today, like I said, we're going to continue with our revision of our chapter Globes and Maps. Now, if you remember, we had already revised what are globes and what are the problems with the globes. We also studied about the shape of the earth. Now, today we're going to move on to the topic of maps, okay? And in this video, we are going to revise what are the different types of maps and how do we use them, how do we read the maps, what are the different signs and symbols that are used on the maps, and or we are also going to revise about the directions and the scale that are used on the maps. So basically this video is a complete revision about the maps and how they are used, all right? So I think we should get on to the topic of maps. Let's start, all right? Now, what are maps? Maps, if you all observe, are usually flat and they are drawn on paper, correct? And what can you do with paper? Can you roll them up and carry them around? Yes, correct. Can you do that with the globe? No, we cannot do that with the globe, correct? Why can we not do that with the big globe? Because it's a huge thing, correct? It is on a stand, it is big, it is of a different, it is bulky, it is round in shape, so it's not a comfortable shape to carry around. So those are the problems with the map which of the globe which we had already studied. So that is why the people who study geographers, okay, they started studying maps, all right? So what are maps? Maps are basically drawn on a paper or on a flat surface. So why are they done that? They have chosen to use the maps because you can see a larger portion of the map on a flat surface. Can you see the whole earth on the globe? No, correct? You can only see one side which is facing, like this image which I have put up on the screen. If you observe that image, what can you see? You can see only one side of the earth, correct? So a globe has limitations, it cannot show the entire world. Can you see the different states and the countries on the globe? No. So there are so many issues with the globe. There is just so little place and they cannot show the entire amount of detail that you would like to see. All right. So that is why maps solved all those issues with the globe. So maps can show any kind of maps. There are many kinds of maps. They show the earth. There are different drawings of the earth, and it is usually on the flat surface of paper, and they show those areas in detail, all right? And most importantly, they are very convenient to carry and to study, so it becomes easier to study maps, all right, rather than studying the globes. So that is why we use maps quite a bit. Now, we need maps to travel. When we are traveling from a place to another unknown area, maps help us, correct? If you travel in the car, anywhere, if you're going to a new locality, don't you check on Google Maps where this place is located? How do we get there? So those are the things that we do, right? And we use maps to find the location and we find the direction on the map. So there are different there is a lot of evolution in the usage of maps, all right? So maps can show you more detail. Now we are going to look at the different types of maps. So basically there are three types of maps, as you can see on the screen: the political, thematic, and physical maps. So please write this on a paper. What are the three types of maps? Political, thematic, and physical. All right. Now let us just revise what are political maps. All right. You need to first make a tree diagram of this. Take a pen and paper, keep it handy so that you can make notes of the topics that I am talking about today. This is our revision video. You need to pay more attention to these videos because I will not be covering them again, and these are important lessons for our exams. So we will be having our PT exam soon, PT1 exam soon, and that time you should be prepared. You shouldn't be wondering how do I learn about this topic. So this is the time to revise, because once again we will not be covering, and it's high time we started getting serious about our studies. So I hope you all are taking it more seriously now. If you haven't, please go back and watch the first video which I posted in the last week related to this lesson, globes and maps, and then study this part of the maps also. All right. Now, like I said, I hope you have drawn the tree diagram by now, okay, of the maps. What are the types of maps? Political, thematic, and physical. All right. So let us just look at what are political maps. What do political maps show us? Now, this image which I have shared on the screen right now shows you the political map of the world. So what do you observe first? When you look at the map, what can you see? Doesn't it look very colorful? Correct. You can see that there are a lot of colors used. Okay. What else can you observe? Can you what do you think this map shows? What do you think it's showing? Have you thought about it? Why don't you write about it? It shows the different countries of the world, correct? And the oceans that are surrounding the continents. So these are that is what this map is showing you. It's showing the continents and the different countries on those continents, plus the oceans and the seas that surround these continents, correct? So these are the things which you can see on this map. All right, so this is a map which shows you different things. So basically political maps show you different features like the states, provinces, capital cities, and major towns of those places or of the country or of a state. Okay, so like this map which I've put up right now is of the state of Maharashtra and shows you the different districts of Maharashtra. So this is again a political map. Okay, so these are maps which show you the different areas of the map, and it has a specific purpose. Okay, so political maps will show you features such as states, provinces, capitals, cities, and major towns. Please write this down so that you can remember. These are the main points of the lesson so that it becomes very easy. Any questions that are asked on these topics should not be difficult for you. So that is why I'm going through them again in more detail. Okay, so I want you to write these down so that you know there are three types of maps. They are political, thematic, and physical, correct? And physical political maps, now what are we looking at? We're looking at political maps, and political maps show us features such as capital cities. It shows us the districts, like this map which is there on screen is showing us the districts of Maharashtra. So it can show you states, it can show you the boundaries of the states, it can show you the boundaries of the districts of the place that you're looking at. So these are political maps. All right, so please write down what are political maps and what do they show. All right, so if somebody asks you, you should be able to answer. Don't get that question wrong. All right, so now what is the next type of map that I had talked about? The physical maps. All right, now like I have written up on screen, please write it down and make a note of it and learn it. All right, so physical maps show landforms, mountains, plains, plateaus, and they also show water bodies like rivers, seas, and oceans. All right, pay attention to the pronunciations of the words that I am saying. So basically, physical maps show you landforms. All right, what are landforms? Landforms are the mountains, the valleys, the plains, and plateaus on earth. Okay, how is that word plateaus pronounced as plateau. All right. So what are landforms which you can see on physical maps? Landforms are mountains, valleys, plains, and plateaus. It's valleys is missing from my screen. Please write it down. Do you all know how to spell it? Valleys is spelled as Valleys. Valleys. Let me repeat. Valleys. Valleys. All right. So that's the plural of valley. Okay. So let me just show you an image of what landforms are. So can you see this image which I put up on the screen? What does it show? It shows you mountains, and the dips between the mountains and the areas between the mountains are called as valleys. And what are plains? Plains are those flat, large surface areas of land. All right. And what are water bodies? Water bodies are the oceans. All right. Rivers, seas. So what do physical maps show you? Physical maps show you landforms, which include mountains, valleys, plains, and plateaus. All right. And what are water bodies? Water bodies are rivers, seas, oceans, lakes. All these are water bodies. Now, which color do you think would be which color would you use to show water bodies on a map? Think about it and just note it down. We'll come to that topic later, but right now let's just focus on physical maps. And what do physical maps show us? Physical maps show us two things: landforms and water bodies. What are landforms? Landforms include mountains, plains, valleys, and plateaus. Okay. And what are water bodies? Water bodies include seas, rivers, and oceans. All right. So I want you to remember this. I have already repeated it so many times. You do not need to go ahead and separately study about it. Okay. So please do remember, pay attention. Okay, now this map, now I showed you images, but now let me show you the map on how it is shown. Okay, so when we want to show mountains, we are going to use brown color. Okay, so the taller the mountains, the darker brown would be used. Okay, so we are using different colors. Look at this map that you can see on the screen that I have put up. You can see different shades of green, there are different shades of yellow, then there is brown, then there is blue. All right, so what does that show? It show the browns obviously are going to stand for mountains, correct? Which color would we use for mountains? Browns, correct? The green shows the land, all right, which is at a lower height. All right, and yellows could be for desert. Okay, the blue stands for, it can be for rivers, it can be for the seas, it can be for the lakes. So these are the different colors that we have used that we see on our physical maps, because they show you the different things like landforms and water bodies. Okay, so this is about physical map. So what do physical maps show us? Landforms and water bodies. And landforms include mountains, plains, plateaus, and valleys, whereas water bodies include rivers, seas, and oceans. All right, I hope this type of map is clear. Now let's go on to the next type of map that I was going to talk about. We had seen that there are three types, correct? So what is the third type? It is the thematic map. Okay, now what is a thematic map? So basically the word thematic comes from the word theme. So that means that the maps follow a certain theme. They are showing a certain theme. So what are these themes? They are showing one particular idea. Okay, so what is another word for theme? It could be an idea. All right, so it's going to follow the same basic topic. Okay, so basically thematic maps show you the special features. It could be anything of an area. Like, what are these special features? It could show you the rainfall of that area. It can be the rainfall of the country, it can be the rainfall of the state. Okay, it can be rainfall over a period of years. It could be vegetation. What is vegetation? Do you remember? Vegetation is the plant life that you can find. Okay, so it could be forest cover that you can have in that area. It shows you the deposits of minerals, then the location of industries. It can also show you where it has not been raining. Okay, so there are many different things. It can also show you, let me show you an example. So this particular map which I have shared on screen right now shows you the literacy rate of in our country. So it, how do they show it? Have they written it on the map? No. So they have used colors to show the rate of literacy in this, in our country. Okay, so what are thematic maps? Thematic maps show a particular theme. They show a special feature on the map. Okay, and it could be any topic, it could be related to any topic like rainfall, vegetation, and minerals, deposits of minerals, the kinds of soils, the farming that is carried out. So all those things can be shown in a thematic map. Okay, so now let us just quickly go through the maps again. What were the different types of maps? There are three types of maps. What are they? You have physical, thematic, and political. Okay, and what were thematic maps? Do you remember? Thematic maps is on the screen. What does it show? It shows you the literacy rate. So this map is showing you the literacy rate. Write this down if you haven't written it down. Thematic maps show you the special features of an area, and it could be anything, like it could be the rainfall, vegetation, deposits of minerals, location of industries, anything it could be basically. All right, so these are about thematic maps. And what are physical maps? They show you, physical maps show you the, can you think of the answer? They show you landforms and water bodies. Okay, what are landforms? Landforms include mountains, valleys, plains, plateaus. And what are water bodies? Water bodies are the rivers, seas, and oceans. All right, and finally, the political maps, that what do they show you? Political maps show you features such as states, provinces, capitals, cities, and major towns. So you need to remember these. You have to be able to. So if somebody shows you a map, you should be able to guess what that map is. You don't need to that to be written on top that this is a world political map. No, you don't need that. Okay, you should be able to identify that by yourself. All right. So we have now learnt what are maps. Maps are drawn on flat surfaces and they represent parts of the earth. They can be of any kind. It could be political, thematic, or physical, and each has their particular feature. Now, in all these maps that you have seen till now, have you observed that there are a lot of colors used on the map? Have you seen that? Did you see that? Okay, so one thing that you have to remember about the maps is that we use different colors to show different features on the map, and we also show different signs and symbols on the map. Okay, so what in this map, and now I have taken a part of this literacy map that I have shown. Can you see on the corner, in the top corner there, that there is a white box, and in that something is written and there are colors put up, right? So that is showing that which color stands for the age group that is literate. All right, so that is what this particular map shows. So like that, every map will have a box that is showing you details of what those colors or what the signs and symbols stand for. Now what is this called? These are called as conventional signs and symbols, and this is the box, that box in which all these details are written are known as key or legend. What would that be called as? That white box that you can see on the screen right at the top, it is the legend of the map or the key of the map that tells you how to read the map. All right, so one thing, what have we so far covered? We have seen what are maps, what are the different types of maps, and now we are looking at what are the different signs and symbols that are used on the map and how do we read them. How do we come to know what are those different colors or signs and symbols that are used? Which part of the map tells us that? The legend or the box that is there. All right, that box in which all that detail is written, what is it called? It is called as a key or a legend. What is it called? key or a legend. Let me spell it out for you. Key, key or a legend. You need to go through it, write it down, and please remember and that this is a revision video and I am taking up revision of this lesson. All right, so make note, every point that I'm discussing right now is an important point. So what is this box in which detail is given called? It is called as a key or a legend. All right, now let's move on. So these are the signs and symbols that we use. So if somebody asks you what are the conventional signs and symbols, what does that mean? It means that on a map we use different colors and signs to show different aspects of the map. So those details that are shown on the map are called as conventional signs and symbols. So you have different lines, different colors that are used, correct? And apart from this, I told you about the legend and the key. The legend and the key shows you what that map is talking about. Okay, it tells you what the map is talking about. Please write it down so that you do not forget. Pause the video and make notes so that these points you remember, and they are all important points that you really need to know. Now this map that I am showing you shows you that there are a lot of colors, correct? If you observe, you will see that there are shades of blue, then there are shades of yellows and orange and brown and green. What does all that stand for? It shows you, the shades of blue shows you how deep the sea is in the different parts of the ocean. Okay, so one, basically blue is used for all the water bodies in the world that we have already seen. Okay, and in this map they are showing you the different colors. There are different shades of the blue, so that means which part of the sea or the ocean is deeper than the rest, so that you come to know from this map. Then there are shades of the brown color, so the darker the brown shade, that means the taller the mountain here. Okay, so there are different colors that are used. Okay, so you need to remember that, like green stands for land, yellow shows desert. Okay, then blue shows water. I have already told you water bodies. Make a note of this, please go through it. I had also shared the PPT related to this lesson. Please go and watch that PPT, so that because it's there or everything is written down there, you will be able to write it down better. Now if somebody asks you how will you show mountains and highlands on the map, which color will you use? What will you say? Brown. Okay, so brown will show you mountains and highlands. Which color will you use to show deserts? Yellow. Okay, which color will you use to show deserts? Yellow. Which color will you use to show the oceans or the seas? Blue. Correct? Okay, any other color that I'm missing out for you? So these are the different aspects of the map that you need to know. One is signs and symbols, we already saw. We learned about legend and key. Okay, what legend and key mean the same. It is the same box that they are showing. Okay, that same box has two names. What are these two names? Legend and key. Now we are looking at colors, the colors that are used on the map. So I have already told you, blue shows the oceans and the seas, green shows the land, yellow shows the deserts, and brown shows the mountains. So this is how colors are used in a map. Now the next part that we need to know about are the directions. Okay, maps are useless if you do not know how to read the directions, because otherwise how will you go and reach that place? Okay, so basically we are using maps to go to a certain place, correct? So for that, what do you need? You need to have directions. So let us just quickly revise our directions. Do you remember what those directions were? We have four main directions: north, south, east and west. Okay, north, south, east and west. Okay, so these are the four main directions, and you will find this in every map, because that helps you know where the north of the map is. Okay, and apart from this, we have the sub directions, which are between north and south, north and east, between north and east, north and west. Okay, which are these sub directions? The sub directions between north and east are northeast, Between north and west is northwest. What about between south and east? The direction between south and east is southeast, and between south and west is southwest. You need to do this, you need to write this, make this star, or make a, draw four lines and the sub directions in between, so that you can remember. What are the four main directions? Four main directions are north, south, east, and west, as you can see in the picture that I've put up. Okay. Apart from this, we have the sub directions, which are northeast, which is between north and east, northwest between north and west, southeast between south and east, and southwest between south and west. Please make a detailed note about this in this video. No point is unimportant. Each and every topic that I'm talking about is important. You need to know this. Do write it down. Okay. So this is about direction. So what, let's just quickly go through again what all we have studied. We studied first what are maps. We also revised that there are issues with globes, and that is why we use maps. Okay, then there are three different types of maps. You have the political, thematic, and the physical maps. Political maps show you the boundaries of states, cities, towns, capital cities. Okay, all those things are shown in the political maps. What do physical maps show you? Physical maps show you landforms and water bodies. What are landforms? Landforms are mountains, plains, valleys, plateaus. What are water bodies? Water bodies are oceans and rivers and seas. All right. So these are the things which we have seen in types of maps. Then we saw that there are different colors and signs and symbols used on the map, which are called as conventional signs and symbols. Okay, and they help us to understand the map better. Okay, they help us to understand what is shown in the map. Signs and symbols, we have the key or the legend, which shows you, which tells you what is shown in a particular map. Okay. Then we have come to the topic of directions. We have revised that there are four main directions: north, south, east, and west. Apart from this, we also have the sub directions. Those are northeast, which is between north and east, northwest, which is between north and west, southeast, which is between south and east, and southwest, which is between south and west. So we have learnt all this so far. We have revised all this so far. You need to know each and every point. Do not forget any. Make a note of it. Now we are coming to the last aspect of our topic, and I'm again going about let me just adjust the screen so far. So in this, that you can see is the scale. Okay, why have I moved up on the screen? And that is because you can see at the bottom of the map is the scale. Okay, now what is the scale? This is like a ruler like thing, correct? And what does it tell you? The scale tells us, this map which is made, what is the proportion that is used to show on the map. Okay, so the scale tells us how much distance it represents, and what is the distance on the actual, actually how much distance is used, is there on earth, and what is the proportion or the ratio that is used on the map. So scale is it helps us to understand understand the proportion. Okay, so these are important aspects of this lesson. You really need to know all the topics that I have discussed so far. Okay, we just learned, we revised about maps. We learned that they are flat drawings, or they're drawings of the earth on a flat surface. Then we revised that there are different types of maps: political, thematic, and physical. And we also saw that each different map shows you different kinds of things. To read the maps, we use the conventional signs and symbols, and these conventional signs and symbols help us to understand what these maps show and what they tell us. All right, so this is these are the things that we have learned and revised in this video. Please go through this video very carefully. This is the last time that I will be doing this lesson, and make notes. In case of any doubts, make it a point to send me a mail. All right, and apart from this, one basic instruction that I have to leave you with is that you have to mark your attendance. All the students of Pratibha International School have to mark their attendance by writing their name, the whole name, in the comment box which is there below this video by 9 p.m. on 8th June. Now, for the previous video, also I had left this instructions, but I kept getting the attendance even, till yesterday morning. So then, like, you have kept on giving the attendance, that will not be accepted. You have to send it before 8 o'clock, before 9 o'clock at night on 8th June. Okay, anyone who has sent me the attendance, the name, if you write your name after 9 p.m. on 8th June, you will be marked as absent. So please, to avoid that, do make a note of that. I request all the parents to kindly cooperate with the attendance marking. All students, from the comments that I have received, can understand that many students are still not watching the video. So please do make a point to watch the video carefully and in detail, make notes, and send your attendance. It's high time we started getting serious about our studies, so please do that. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. This is the end of our lesson 1 revision video. We will be going ahead with our portion in the next video. Okay, thank you, take care.